Hey everyone, today I've got your Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies movie review. The final chapter to Peter Jackson's epic franchise is coming to an end. No! I went to go see this and, this story is just so rich and full of life that, I just wish that some things did not have to die. Spoiler alert. Now, as far as the story goes, this movie is literally split up into three parts, and as far as the plot goes, you've got the Smaug action, you've got the White Council battle with the Necromancer, aka Sauron, and then you've got the big granddaddy of them all, the Battle of the Five Armies. I was hoping that, they weren't going to put in a lot of fluff into this movie, as they kind of did with the last couple of movies, specifically The Desolation of Smaug, and being the shortest of all three Hobbit films, I certainly hope not. The story did seem to move faster, which I did like, because it was just action-packed and it had all these different things going on left and right, so it was a lot to take in, and it was just really crazy. This movie definitely had a huge cast of phenomenal actors who made great characters, and, I have a lot of my favorites. I have even some of my favorite dwarves that I loved, and, I was hoping that by this third time around, all the dwarves you'd be able to know, like, all their names, which I do, and, sort of their personalities start to show, which they did, so I really like that aspect of it, and obviously I have my favorite dwarf is Fili. You guys can let me know in the comments what your guys' favorite dwarves are. And I did find the Tauriel-Keely romance better this time around. It wasn't as forceful as it sort of made it up to be in The Desolation of Smaug, but in this one, it really, really worked, and it was convincing enough that I actually cared about their romance, because originally, I wasn't so keen on having a dwarf and an elf sort of get together, but I guess, that's just what they were trying to do, and not try to Twilight it, but I think it worked really great, and Evangeline Lilly, who played Tauriel, I thought she was great too, very emotional, and just the driving force of her character, caring so much about this one dwarf was really nice to see, and obviously for Keely, having like a lot of screen time and a lot of lines was also great too, especially his scene with Thorin. I thought was really great and very powerful and emotional. I can't really remember who had the most screen time, but it didn't really matter because I thought all the dwarves were great. They all played very well. I really loved how they all were watching Thorin, who was basically going through this gold sickness that he had. Richard Armitage, he is just fantastic as Thorin. I couldn't picture anybody else playing him. He was just so bold and so he was turning into dark madness, and somebody just had to stop him, and it had to be Bilbo, because Bilbo had to take all of his shit and see everything that was going on. And we all know what he took in The Desolation of Smaug. They show it, but if you've read the book, you know what happens. Bilbo, especially being this central character, hopefully, in this movie, he wasn't pushed aside, and he was actually being brave and fighting alongside these characters in the movie. And of course, you've got Gandalf, who's the old geezer that still assumes that Bilbo's got something in his pocket. Just saying. But I thought Ian McKellen, he was great as well. And also, some other characters to mention, you've got Thranduil, played by Lee Pace, who's this pansy-ass elf, and really giving into his emotional side at times, especially when he was having run-ins with his son, Legolas, played by Orlando Bloom. Ooh, I love that elf. It was just really great to also see some tie-ins to The Lord of the Rings and some backstories that we didn't get a chance to see even in The Lord of the Rings. So I thought that was really cool as well. And Alfred, did get kind of annoying, but he was at times funny. There was this one scene where he had on a woman's dress, but otherwise I just felt like he was a character that should have toned it down a bit. I mean, because they already got rid of the Master, and now like they have this guy sort of like taking over. And also Luke Evans plays Bard, who took out Smaug. I mean, like, that was just a really great scene. Now, there were things I definitely liked. The opening sequence, which was the first act that had Smaug taking out Lake Town. That whole scenario was just beautifully shot. I love the visual effects on that. I mean, it was totally great. And even like Smaug himself, like, he was like talking and being really intimidating, but in a different way than he was in the Desolation of Smaug. And there was just non-stop action. There were ties to the Lord of the Rings, especially close to the end of the movie, just to put it all together so it's like I can watch all of these movies like back and forth. Also, I gotta mention Galadriel going all Fellowship of the Ring on Sauron. I'm just saying, that White Council battle scene in the Act 2, I thought like that was pretty intense, and literally my jaw was dropped to the floor. Unfortunately, there were things that I did dislike about this movie, which I kind of expected, but I didn't want to go into this movie expecting too much. Obviously, the first main thing was that the CGI did still bother me. Now, I felt like it had gotten a little bit worse than it was in the Desolation of Smaug, and I think it was just because seeing the difference, like, of how they put together the battle sequences. I mean, it was nothing compared to The Return of the King, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about forever. But, I mean, the battle sequences were still pretty cool, but some of the CGI, it still looked kind of cheesy and cheap, and I was just like, oh gosh, why am I watching these like computer-generated characters when they could have been actors? Another unfortunate thing was that one of the characters that I really loved in the Desolation of Smaug was Beorn. He did not have as much screen time as I was hoping him to have, because in the book he was a real badass, and now he's not even on the playing field as often as he should have been. And even though his shot, when they showed him, like, he was really crazy, but it just wasn't good enough. There were some like slight like silly moments that I like wish they like saved for the extended edition, but I mean, it was just like little like silly things that are actually forgettable and just not that funny. Also, the one major thing that I absolutely did not like about the Desolation of Smaug, which also happened here, which I was hoping did not happen, was Legolas's acrobatics with a bat. I was not expecting it to happen the way it did, but it happened, and it kind of pisses me off still. But either way, I'm just gonna let that one go because I still love Legolas. He's my man. I still think he was pretty awesome when he was fighting. I really do think that this was such, you know, a great end to a movie. It could have been a little bit better, but I'm not going to complain about it because I'm still going to watch them forever, and I just love them either way. Overall, I thought The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies was a great film, but there were things that I definitely did not like about it, which kind of hurts the movie in my opinion. But I would still recommend checking it out if you guys haven't, because it is just one not to miss, especially if you want to finish off both the trilogies, so The Lord of the Rings and of The Hobbit. So I would give this 4 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies. How would you rank all of the Middle-earth films? And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates. Come back up for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.